This is Josiah Plays Sunless Sea. I discovered Fort Carnelian, the place of cheap food. And I'm going to go back to the Iron Republic on my way back to pick up as much cheap fuel as I can, but we might as well explore a little bit while we're down in this area. Uh-oh. Something that's gonna kick my ass right there. But I don't know what it is. I don't really need my light on right now. I gotta keep in mind my hull is kind of weak right now because I got bombed by that ship a couple times. And I definitely need to avoid that dreadnought when I go back north, because that thing will kill me as it did before. Fed the crew? Yeah, we got so much food now. So much food. Sea bats cry out, they are nothing like birds. I don't think there's anything to do with the Grand Geode if I come back here real quick. But let's check it out nonetheless. So I guess I'm no longer allowed to pick up Sphinx Stone from the salt lines anymore, because it said it was the last shipment. Kind of want to see what happens if you go back to the salt lines now. Because if there's no more... That's like my best money-making possibility. Asked to speak to someone in authority. Lost 5 terror, gained a memory of distant shores. Oh yeah, that was worth stopping here then. And I can quickly save. Wait. I don't think I want to go this way. No, I'm gonna go back up this way. Scoot over here to the coast and hug the coast as I head back up to the Iron Republic. The Iron Republic is kind of like the Banana Republic, except much harder on your teeth. Hodgerton's Bluff. Oh, that Hodgerton. Quite a character. Porkery Bay. I like these little light buoys. They really help out with the terror. Wish there were just light buoys everywhere. Little river right there. Hopefully if I hug the coast heading back up there, I can avoid that dreadnought. That dreadnought of me killing. That thing wrecked me. The Iron Republic. Also known as the place of cheap fuel. There's the dreadnought. I need to not get anywhere the fuck near that thing. Because it will so kill me. No! Don't come this way! Alright, it's turning around. It's going the other way. Yeah, it does kind of sound a bit Irish, the music here, doesn't it? Kugel's Bluff. Oh, that Kugel. You can never trust him. He's always bluffing. Alright, he's got a good poker face, that Kugel. Alright, manual save. Number 1. Save, save. We're gonna just fill up the hold with cheap fuel now. Buy as much as we can. Fire in the belly. The market always sells fuel. Use a market story choice for more goods. Gained 1 terror. Sell supplies. Sell supplies for 25 here. Didn't I just pay 18? Correct me if I'm wrong, but did I not just pay 18 per supply at Carnelian Bay, or Carnelian whatever it is? Because if I can go right down there and buy supplies for 18, and then bring them right here and sell them for 25, that's 7 per unit profit. If I loaded up my hold, that's not a very long voyage in between. Of course, you do have to watch out for that dreadnought going back and forth, which is probably makes it kind of hazardous. I think I bought them for 18, because normally they cost 20 in London, and these were a little bit cheaper than the London supplies. I'm surprised supplies sell for so much here. But I don't want to sell my supplies, though. I need them. Then again, if I sold a bunch of supplies here, then I go back to London and I can buy supplies for 20, so I still would have made a little bit of echoes for the ones that I sold, you know, even if I immediately buy and replace them in London. Maybe I should buy... Well, anyway, let's buy the cheap fuel, as much of it as we can get. Alright, good. We got 20 fuel. Hold is full. Now I'm just wondering if I should sell some supplies. Maybe I should sell, like, almost all these supplies and go immediately back down to Carnelian and, because what do I have here? How many supplies do I have? 17? If I sold, like, 15 of those, that would be, like, a profit of, like, 105 echoes, which doesn't sound like that much, but it really is. Fuck it. I can't sell all the supplies because I need enough, you know, to get back to where I'm going. Alright, we're done here. Let's go immediately back to Carnelian. What the hell's the name of the place? Port Carnelian. Yeah. I can go at an angle down like this too, so I can clear a little bit of this map right here. Also, avoid the shit out of that dreadnought. Avoid the shit out of it. That's like even more serious than just normal avoiding. I'm gonna send my bat out. Keep sending the bat out. The sea here is warm. Bubbles rise and burst with lazy menace. The fire in the earth is restless. What is that? Oh, that's a ship I can't fucking fight. Just like almost every other ship in Sea Monster. One day, I might have a powerful ship with powerful guns and I might be able to fight some of this stuff, but that day is not today. That day is unfortunately not today. I discovered Raynor's Vortex. Alright, going into a vortex is bad. It damages your ship. Discovered Velton's Vortex. 2 vortexes just hanging out here together. Oh. That's a cloud of blue... 500 health? That's something I can't fight. Obviously. That's something that will kick my ass. Azala raises her head, sniffs sharply, blood on the wind. Alright, back to Port Carnelian. I could try panning for sapphires again. Probably not going to succeed. Even though I did last time. 29%. Failed. Gained a Tale of Terror, though. That's worth it. A native ambush. Perhaps ambush is a strong word. But there's a tiger sitting on a broad mushroom cap asking unflattering questions about your nutritional value. You retreat. Nice. Alright. Yeah, see? I'm paying 18 here. And I sold them for 25. So that was a nice little... I mean, not a huge profit, but every little bit adds up, you know? So this time we go back... We buy all the supplies we can. We have a shitload of fuel and supplies now. Which means I could explore. I could do some serious exploring now. So let's see. I've explored a lot up north. I should explore... kind of this area-ish. Or I could go kind of straight up this way towards Nuncio, which I discovered with the bat but never actually visited, and then hit every one of these ports that I normally go to on the way back and get just a million port reports. But I probably won't do that. Although I am really curious what happens if I go back to the Salt Lions, if I can actually get more Sphinx Stone or not. I don't think I can, but I'm curious. Let's just explore some stuff down south here a bit. I have tons of fuel. And tons of food. I haven't had this much fuel and food in a very long time. So we'll go back through between the vortexes. Between the vortices. The vortices. Keep sending the bat out. See if it can discover something. See what's over here. Heck is this? Some kind of ruins or something? A sluggish wave, the ship pitches. Those twin vortexes look like evil eyes, right? Look at this evil looking place. Volcanic ruin islands. Kinda nice to find another port up in here somewhere, though. Would like to find a port of some description, some variety. Anywhere where I can dock and acquire things. The air trembles, a breath of change passes. Exploring. Just exploring the great black depths of the Sunless Sea. Hashtag just sea captain things. Alright, what's going on up here? Creeping tendrils of fungus, seaweed, and unnameable flora. We enter the snares. Discovered Labyrinth of Eels. The Shrieking Eels! Labyrinth of Eels sounds like a really nice place where you want to bring your kids and visit and stuff. Sounds like a really nice place. Luminescent beasts like eyeless dolphins play in your wake. Oh god! Run! Run away! Gillifleur. Relatively weak creature, still too tough for me to fight. I actually can't fight anything right now. The current state of my hull, I'll be doing no fighting. Not that I ever do much fighting anyway. Boss Pie! How you doing? Hey, hey. Oh god. Bound Shark. Another thing I will not be fighting. You know what the Sunless Sea is full of? Things I'm not gonna fight. Because they will kick my ass. Labyrinth of Eels. No, no, shark. Do you even have weapons? Yeah, I do have a gun on my ship. I've killed some stuff. Really weak pirate ships and really weak sea crab creatures. But usually I take a bunch of damage while doing it and it's not really worth it. But most of these creatures are way too tough that I couldn't possibly beat them. Anything that has more than like 30 hit points, not gonna happen. Did I just crash? I wasn't watching, I was looking at something else. Damn it, I just did some more damage to my hull. Pigmote Isle. Oh, I found a place. I found a place. Oh hi. Oh hi to you. Schmerical Jim is here, Boss Pie, Nox Moo, all kinds of people. The usual suspects, the Dubois Maelstrom. Alright, well we don't want to sail into that. Brisk spatter of spray, the Unterzee is restless. Yay, a port! A port, a port! Discovered Saints Haven. That's been forever since I discovered a port, it feels like. Alright, first thing we're gonna do is save. You can only save when you're in a port, so I always save the second I get to a port. Before I do anything there. Mote Isle. 2 houses, both alike in dignity. On a lonely desert beach. There is no habitation in sight, no market, only an old rotting dock. A stretch of sand thickens into damp black earth, from which sprout stunted palms? Not quite. Tall fungal growths with frond-like caps, as if someone had sculpted the idea of a tree from a mushroom. Disembark and see what awaits you. War? As you step onto the quay, you hear clamor, shouts, and shooting. You can see, off in the distance, smoke rising from beyond the hill, and dots of fire flecking the horizon. 2 tiny figures stand a little further down the quay, unmoving, as if awaiting your approach. Are these pygmies? So that's why it's called Mote Isle? A literary interlude. The following is an extract from the popular Diary of a Sea Captain, from London to Irem, and what we did there before we arrived. Washed ashore on Mutton Island and subsequently serialized in the Unexpurgated Gazette. The author's identity remains unknown. The tale of Mote Isle, in which a delegation is made, a choice is presented, war is declared, a most singular treasure is sought by all, and a new empire is founded with tooth and claw. Chapter 1. The Delegation. Wow, some legit reading is about to happen right here. Hold on a second. Full-on reading time. Here we go. Chapter 1. The Delegation. The figures were rodents. To my left was a Rattus Faber, wearing goggles, a blacksmith's apron, and an assortment of tools. To my right, an unusually large guinea pig, wearing a helmet and breastplate reminiscent of nothing so much as the High Middle Ages. The rat stepped forward first and bowed. "Welcome, Captain, to Rat Star Island. I am Edgar, Second Chief Engineer of the 3rd Rat Brigade. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice." That was my rat engineer voice. It's not good. It's not good. The rat stepped back at precisely the same moment, with what appeared to be the ease of long habit. The guinea pig scuttled forward and made a declamatory chirp. "Welcome, Captain, to the Isle of Caviar. I am Lady Augusta Devereaux Swinch of the Blackwater Swinches, Seneschal to our King Gracenaw, first of his name. I invite you to avail yourself of food and fuel at our expense. The only cost to you is a choice." The two stood at attention, looking at me expectantly. Alright, so apparently he had to choose whether he wanted to be friends with the rats or the guinea pigs. I like how they gave the island 2 different names. The 2 remarkable rodents sat, squatted, both seeking my support. I knew I had to choose carefully. This is Chapter 2, Alike in Dignity. This is like, did I seriously just find a book that's like a choose-your-own-adventure book within the game? I spoke to the chief engineer. His eyes had a wave-cold glint to them, and he wore his scars like jewels. I spoke to the seneschal. How did an armored guinea pig manage to look regal? Or I'd heard more than enough. I was ready to make my choice. Let's speak to the chief engineer. A rat in the making. I asked the chief engineer to elaborate. He looked at me for a long, measured moment before speaking gruffly. "We came to this island to make a home for ourselves away from London. It's cats and snuffers, it's rat-skin suits. We came to live as citizens of our own republic. We came with our tools, our teeth, our clever hands, and we made a beautiful city by the light of the rat star that shone bright and blue on Mount Ararat." The chief engineer nodded towards the distant hill. "One day we braved the depths of the chicken woods, and from the top of Mount Ararat, we plucked the rat star to be our light, our beacon. But the pigs of Cavi saw the light, and they lusted for it. They sent armies to rule us and steal our star. We will not permit them to take what is ours! We will resist to our last breath! Will you join us in defeating them? You think there's going to be a fatal love plot like in Romeo and Juliet? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe so. I spoke to the Seneschal. A knight out of habit. The Seneschal cleared her throat with a delicacy to rival the Duchess's own before speaking. Grace now the king, our lord and sovereign, full 7 months had sojourned on the sea, conquered this land and won the southern main. Now no fortress against him shall remain, no city walls be left for him to gain, save the rats that squeak behind mountain. Unlikely was the lamb of our deliverance, assured shall be our glories and their fall, when our ladies high be restored to our hall. You hope so, Boss Pie. Romeo and Juliet starts with 2 households, both alike in dignity. Okay, so there's a reference there. Nice. The Seneschal composed herself, then added, We saw truth and beauty by the light of our lady's eye on Mount Caveat. But the rats, with their guns and their chatter and their peasants' politics, stole it from us. We will subjugate them and take it back. They are a rabble, and we will rule them with the steel-shod velvet of our paws. Will you join us? Tough choice, tough choice. Who do I side with? The rats or the guinea pigs? I'm feeling the rats, to be honest with you. I'm feeling the rats, not the guinea pigs. Well, there is a real mountain in the actual world called Mount Ararat. It's in the Middle East. It's not spelled the same way exactly, but it's in the Bible. It's like an important mountain in the Bible. I'd heard more than enough. I feel like the mountain in Diablo the name was kind of based on that. A transmogrification of that, probably. Heard more than enough, ready to make my choice. Yeah, let's choose the rats. Even though snitches get stitches, and normally I would not side with rats in other contexts, in this context, I think, when having to choose between rats and pigs, pretty obvious. You don't go with pigs. As you can well imagine, I faced quite a dilemma. Their red eyes stared up at me, waiting for my choice. I sided with the chief engineer. He seemed grumpy but honest. Also, I knew all too well what rat-made weapons can do. Or I favored the Seneschal. Was it her charm, or a fondness for London's rat-skin coats that swayed me? Perhaps a little of both. At any rate, I was keen to find out more about their civilization. Or I can attempt to broker a peace. Surely their commonalities were more numerous than their differences. Perhaps I could help them get along. Oh, let's try to broker a peace. That sounds like it could be interesting. My words helped them reach agreement. The chief engineer and the Seneschal shared a look, then regarded me with scornful amusement. Yes, smirked the chief engineer. You're obviously much cleverer than us. Oh, much, murmured the Seneschal. You clearly know us much better than we know ourselves. Apparently idealism would not help here. So idealism, not working out. So there's not going to be a peace, in other words. So, I will side with the chief engineer. A friend to rats. I extended a finger to the chief engineer, who shook it grimly. The Seneschal hissed and chattered her teeth in disgust, but kept her distance. You've made the right choice, said the chief engineer. Let me show you around. Occurrence. Your memoirs, A Rat in the Making quality is now 1. You chose to help the rats. You have cast your lot in with the rats, and they gave me some supplies and fuel for free. That's nice of them. You wonder if it changes if you kept going at it? Maybe, but generally, I don't think things like this, if you pick the same option over and over, unless there's like a like a quality that actually changes, generally nothing new happens. So I don't think it would have. Whoa, here we go. This is like a legit, like, whole lengthy choose your own adventure book here. They're not playing. This island is not playing. Chapter 3, A Rat in the Making. The chief engineer led me to the northern side of the island, skirting the chicken woods. We passed through a number of what can only be termed checkpoints, as fierce-eyed rats shouldered their derringers and saluted the chief engineer. Soon we come upon a small colony, smaller than some of the infestations I had encountered in London flats. Perhaps only 50 Ratus Faber altogether, working diligently to fortify their side of the island. This reminds me of The Secret of Nim. Anybody ever see that movie? It's an old cartoon animated movie. I think it was from Disney, from way back, like in the 80s, called The Secret of Nim. I liked that one a lot when I was a kid. Anyway, it was about intelligent rats. The first thing I noticed was a brilliant light, beaming out from a stump of chicken wood about 6 feet high. It bathed the whole settlement in a clean blue glow, and was almost too bright to look at. By its light I could see several raised mounds of earth, suggesting shallow tunnels. An efficient fishing operation was set up by the water, an albino rat mending nets while others stabbed sharpened sticks into the waves. Further inland was a barracks where a sergeant barked drills at a small squadron of fighters. My arrival drew attention, and several rats paused in their work to look at me curiously. "Welcome to Marinia," said the chief engineer, voice warm with pride. "It's not much to look at now, but it will be once we've rousted the cavies. Take a stroll around while I summon the war council." With that, he vanished into one of the mounds and left me to explore. You saw it, Boss Pie? You like old movies? Yeah. Well, when I saw it, it wasn't an old movie. It's been forever since I've seen that. Forever. Okay. Like, the Berlin Wall was still up when I saw that movie. But not you, old Sherlock Holmes movies. God, why did they ever make those? I hated those. I don't remember old Sherlock Holmes movies. I don't remember those. The only Sherlock Holmes movies I've ever seen were the not super old ones that had, like, Robert Downey Jr. in them. Visited the rats' barracks. Drill sergeant appeared to be sizing me up. Were the few rats around her really all she had to launch an attack? Or I took a closer look at the rat star. An excitable-looking rat was peering at it through smoky goggles, twitching her whiskers and making notes on what appeared to be real paper. Or headed down to the beach. Who ever heard of a rat mending a net? Or I finished my exploration. The bells of the war council rang. I was summoned. Let's take a closer look at the rat star. That sounds intriguing. They were in black and white and they were horrible. Well, I'm glad I didn't see them then. I took a closer look at the rat star. An excitable-looking rat was peering at it through smoky goggles, twitching her whiskers, and making notes on what appeared to be real paper. Blue as a sapphire, but endlessly more brilliant. "It's not a star, of course, not really, but try explaining that to the others. The chief engineer doesn't want me working too hard to convince them. Says this is better for morale, but just look at it. Look!" She offered me her goggles. I managed to work them over just enough of one of my eyes to see the truth of what she was studying. It was scintillac, but unlike any I'd seen before. Blue as a sapphire, but more brilliant. Something about the clarity of its color was tremendously soothing. The chief science officer tittered with pleasure as I handed her goggles back. "Those of us that have been to the cavy side of the island and lived to tell of it say that there's plenty of glow there. Plenty of bright in the water all around, but nothing like this. We took this from the island's center, Mount Ararat. Only it's not a mountain, of course, any more than this is a star. It's hollow. There's sweet water inside and coral crawling all up the walls of it. But nothing that glows, save this. It's ours now, and no one can take it from us." I could probably take it from them. Alright, let's visit the rats' barracks. We were fighting impressive odds. I approached the drill sergeant and went so far as to salute her, which earned me a grunt of satisfaction. The sergeant dismissed her troops and offered me a bit of chicken word jerky to gnaw on.
There's more of us below ground, she explained, but not enough. The cabbies are bigger, and there's more of them. We're better with weapons, but haven't got the stuff to make them with. Most of us came here as stowaways and brought nothing but food, tools, and the fur on our backs. We can fish. We nibble the chicken woods, but we can't make guns out of trees. The cabbies came with their own steamer and seem to have endless supplies. We raid them sometimes, but there's so few of us that we can never hold on to territory gained for long. But that's of no consequence. All we want is to be left in peace to build our republic. And the Rat Star, she added thoughtfully after a moment. Of course, we want that too.
I see. So they're a little bit, outmatched, it sounds like. Let's head down to the beach. Let's check into this rat mending a net. Where the green billows played. An albino rat smiled up at me from his mending work, looking dainty and a little shy. Chickenwood floats, especially when it's dried out and sealed. So we're able to paddle out a bit and cast our nets. We come up with all sorts of things. Blind fish, crabs, sometimes a chunk of broken tentacle. But the fishing would never be so good without the Rat Star. He beamed. I think it only draws good fish and keeps the scary ones at bay. I know the chief science officer doesn't believe it, but I do. That light is our livelihood. I could probably take it from you how ominous. You're just typing that. Well, you know, I'm just saying. Just saying. I might have to relieve them of their Rat Star. I'm just saying. Alright, let's finish my exploration. The bells of the Ward Council rang. I was summoned. Okay. Chapter 4, A Vital Enterprise. The chief engineer emerged from underground with a motley assortment of other rats. He introduced them as weapons experts, strategists, and field commandos. So you're gonna help us beat the Cavies, he said, a hard edge to his voice. But how exactly? I had nothing to offer but my advice. The king took it in desperation, if not gratitude. I offered my strategic assistance. We engineered a distraction, and the LBs could use to plunder the Cavies' ship and turn the tide in their favor, and I have a 55% chance on that. Or I determined to take the lead. I had a ship. I had cannons. We would steer her to the southern side of the island and have at those uppity animals. 55% on that one, too. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Is the real question. It's the real question. Let me offer my strategic assistance. Did we fail? Succeeded. Yay! A questing beast dressed up one of me sailors in a mess of shabby cloth smeared with prisoner's honey, and instructed him to roll around in the black earth of the island. Soon we had a glorious mud monster to send thrashing through the chicken woods towards the Cavies. The distraction worked perfectly. The Cavies diverted their force towards our makeshift beast, leaving the rats with very little opposition as they plundered the grounded ship. They returned triumphant, as did my sailor, laughing, having led the Cavies a merry chase. Within a few hours, the rats' diligence had resulted in the building of a remarkable cache of weapons with which they successfully routed their enemy. The rats, ever egalitarian, shared their spoils in addition to the promised food and fuel. They gave me 4 bales of parabola linen, Who plucks the flax from the banks of rivers that flow through sleep? My Pigmote Isle spirit quality is now 3, conflicted. A nation needs hope. If this reaches 0, bad things will happen on Pigmote Isle. They gave me 10 fuel? Holy crap. Uh-oh, my hold is over full. That's not good. They gave me a scintillac. Hail Murinia, 2 houses alike in dignity. Not that this is saying much, mind. Neither of them have that much dignity. You succeeded an occurrence. Your Pigmote Isle civilization quality is now 5, unexceptional. A nation must build. If this reaches 0, bad things will happen on Pigmote Isle. And your Pigmote Isle might quality is now 4, vulnerable. If this reaches 0, bad things will happen. Okay. Chapter 5, A Nation is Born. The house of KV had fallen. Murinia was triumphant. All that remained were the celebrations and the continuation of our voyage. Oh, how we feasted long into the night. Then, I invited one of the Ratisfaber to join us. After all, what's a ship without a few rats? I interceded on behalf of the KVs. They were crushed, defeated, and I could see their spirits broken without the light of the Rat Star to guide them. They needed an advocate. Or the wide, dark Z beckoned. We had eaten our fill and our business was concluded. It was time to continue our voyage and see what other wonders and terrors still awaited us. I could invite one of them to join us, I guess. I mean, I'm already full up on officers, but maybe I should intercede on behalf of the Cavies in the interest of still making peace or whatever. For the good of the island. Nah, screw those guinea pigs. I'll invite one of the Ratisfaber to join us. Welcome aboard. The chief engineer couldn't leave his colony, but he relayed my request to his people. The albino rat I saw mending nets, shyly stepped forward. I'm good at fixing things, he said earnestly, and I'd like to see more of the world. I waited for him to gather up some effects and say goodbye to his family before accompanying him on board. You've lost 1 times Pigmote Isle civilization. You now have an albino tinkerer, a carpenter, weaver, engineer's hand, and rat of all work. Oh, I can still intercede on behalf of the KVs. Let's do it. The satisfaction of victory. I appealed to the chief engineer's moral fortitude and sense of fair play. Perhaps the KVs suffered the loss of the light from the center of the island. Perhaps they were only trying to get it back, not steal it from the rats. The chief engineer looked troubled, but shook his head. You fought 1 battle, Captain, he said gravely. We fought hundreds against them. They're monsters, pure and simple, and the sooner we're rid of them, the better. Rid of them? I saw by the light of the scintillac a dozen rats using the steam pinnace's supplies to build something that looked remarkably like a sausage machine. Oh god, they're gonna eat them. Memoir as a rat in the making quality is now 2. You could not forge peace between the rats and KVs. I guess the wide dark Z beckoned. We'd eaten our fill and our business was concluded. It was time to continue our voyage and see what other wonders and terrors still awaited us. Oh, and now is where I have to get rid of some stuff because my hold is too fucking full. Unfortunate. I'm gonna have to get rid of some of this extra fuel, which makes me sad. I have to throw 8 fuel into the fucking ocean because I don't... Can't get rid of any of this other stuff. It's worth more. That sound effect just makes it feel worse. Like you just dumped it overboard. The end. There, you finish your diary entry and the final dregs of the rat's surprisingly good wine. They line up to salute you as you leave the victory banquet, escorting you to your ship through the foundations of their new republic. Your hunger quality is gone. All of us must eat. A new nation has been founded. Time passes on the Neath's most adorable empire. I now have one of this, a port report, Pigmote Isle. And that's all for now. Hail Murinia! Wow, I can do more stuff here. The Rise of Pigmote Isle. Hail Murinia! The Neath's most adorable nation scurries around your legs. Scintillac harvesters drag heavy bags of the island's bounty to their silos. Industrious rodents work hard on towering edifices, some of them almost neck-high. London will never believe a bloody word of this. Help Murinia resolve a dilemma. I can't do that because I don't have something awaits you. Request repairs. These rats will board even a sinking ship, provided the crew is willing to carry some of the heavier tools. Raise Pigmote Isle's civilization for better prices. Oh, so I could spend 135 echoes to get repairs here. If I make the place more civilized, it'll be cheaper. Visit the Cavi Ghetto. Murinia has not been kind to its enemies. Oh, that's hateful. Steal the Rat Star. See? I could take it away from them. I could take it. Blue Scintillac. The rats guard it fiercely, but there may be a way. Or less direct alternatives, perhaps. Lower Pigmote Isle's might to make this easier. Because right now I only have an 18% chance. Perhaps not. Alright. Let's visit the Cavi Ghetto and see what's going on there. Oh, that's what the... Oh, they're adorable. The little guinea pig soldiers and their armor and stuff. The survivors of the war have been sent to this swamp where they ponder their failure. Rat guards patrol from atop a spiked wall, passing the time by pelting the mud-slicked guinea pigs with sharp rocks. Oh, this is so terrible. These rats are like Nazis. And the poor guinea pigs are like living in this horrible, hellish existence. Smuggle food into the ghetto. Cavies have little to offer except their gratitude. Success will improve Pigmote Isle's spirit. I don't know that I'm that generous. Attempt to broker a union. Murinia will be stronger if its two houses work together. Success will boost spirit, failure will reduce it. Oh, I see. The more spirit I give them, the better a chance this will be to succeed. Should make peace. Assist the Cavi Revolution. Give us your cunning. We will help you steal the lady's eye. The loss will crush their resolve. Guarantees you the Rat Star, but will cost 5 veils. Fuck that. I'm not losing 5 veils. That's madness. I guess I could give them a little food. I have a lot of food right now. A sly delivery. The regular gate guards do not dare search the hairless advisor. I guess that's me, the hairless advisor. A few careful lies get you and your supplies through without incident. The starving Cavies have little to repay your kindness, but offer what little they manage to keep from their ship. Cache of Curiosities quality is now... Box full of mystery. Open. Oh, so they gave me something. A cache of curiosities. Great. Time passes on Pigmote Isle. Pigmote Isle spirit is now 4. Argumentative. We've lost 2 supplies. What's inside? An intriguingly lumpy sack. It's probably not a sack full of skulls. Probably. Souls. A sad little chain of bottled souls. It is hard to be sure if souls have eyes, but when these ones emerge from the sack into the light, they turn their blindly questing faces towards you in what seems like excitement, and then all at once relax. Disappointed or relieved? Oh, that's kind of grim. I now have a crate of human souls. Clinking, glowing, pleading. The souls are pleading! I feel bad. Ish. Whatever, they're probably valuable. Alright, so what I'm gonna do... 40%. So if I bring them enough supplies, I could get this high enough to where I'd have a decent chance to broker a union. But what I'm going to do first... is... Yeah, I had some souls already. I have an unstamped state of an unstamped crate of brilliant souls that I'm supposed to deliver to some specific place. I don't remember where. I don't remember where I'm supposed to deliver it. Mount Palmerston, wherever the hell that is. I haven't found it yet. But now apparently I also have just a regular crate of souls. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave, but I'm not going to go very far. I'm going to sit right here in harbor until my something is waiting for you thing pops. And then I'm going to go back in so I can mess around with them some more. You should give one to Nox. He likes souls. Is that right? Wow. Okay, this was a cool place to find. Just going to... Noxamu moos at the souls, but doesn't hear any answering moos. Just going to... wait for... something awaits you to pop up. Takes like a minute. There it is. The glassy chop of dark water, the iron clatter of feet at the hatchway. Now, I can do this dilemma thing. Steal the rat star. 18%. I don't think I would really steal the rat star anyway. Help me, Arinia, resolve a dilemma. An aide runs over. Hairless advisor, you return to us! Praise the tide! We need your wisdom once again! Alright, let's just save again. Time passes. A dilemma. How will you advise Pigmote Isle? A dilemma on Pigmote Isle. The rat's wine is in high demand, hairless advisor! The aide twitches its whiskers. We do not wish to take the joy from life, but it has caused many problems. Many injuries amongst our farmers. Our new militia recruits missing their training. Do we step in or turn a blind eye? Sounds like they got a little bit of a retastrophe brewing here. Recommend prohibition. A sober workforce is a harder working workforce, probably not a happier one. Or recommend turning a blind eye. Even rodents need something to take the edge off life. Well, I don't think I'm going to recommend prohibition. That seems like it would cause more problems than it would solve. A modicum of freedom. The aide seems slightly relieved. Very good, hairless advisor, it squeaks, raising a glass in your honor. You return to the town, past a furry heap of soldiers. One particularly small guinea pig, sleeping in a human-sized cup, squeaks happily as you pass. That's all for now. Gained 50 fragments, resolved the dilemma. Gained 2 Pigmote Isle spirit. Now they're optimistic. Some people fear it, some people cheer it. Spirit, some people just won't go near it. But they lost 1 might. New total is weak. Alright. So now, 25% chance on that. 60% chance to broker a union. Should I broker a union? Maybe I'll just wait and come back here another time. I mean, I know I'll stop back by this place multiple times as I'm journeying, so maybe I should just leave it alone for now. Do they have a shop? They don't have a shop. Oh, here's my albino tinkerer. A carpenter, weaver, engineer's hand, and rat of all work. He gives you +2 veils. My current mascot gives me +1 hearts. So I think I'd rather have... So the comatose ferret lies across your desk like a lumpy scarf. Play with it, attract its attention. It rolls its eyes at me, that's all. Whereas my new tinkerer, I could make that my mascot instead. And I can't talk to her to play with it or anything. Okay, but I like it better than the comatose ferret. So, yeah, that's good. And we're done here. We are done here. So we're going to save one last time. And in our next episode, we will head out, head off, explore the rest of this business here. Maybe, I don't know what else we'll do. Maybe head back to London at that point. Or maybe explore over this way to Nuncio. Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. We'll clear this part here. We'll explore up through here. All the way to Nuncio, probably. But that's going to be next time. That is going to do it for this episode. Thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Sunless Sea.